All right, Saagar, what are you looking at?
I often say we're not a serious country. It's something that appears to have resonated with a lot of you. I think it codes in a way that you want, both left, right wing. It just hits a deep nerve. We all know it's true. From our political fights to our economic leaders to the general feeling of malaise that all of us can relate in some way. And a perfect example of that, to me, is TikTok. When you say it in the abstract, I know it sounds laughable, but in the height of peer competition with a malevolent foreign government, we are allowing the most downloaded app in the United States, most used social media app, to be one controlled by that foreign adversary. An adversary which, by the way, specifically does not allow US-based social media companies to operate there, under the belief that doing so would allow us to shape their population towards democratic norms and corrupt their society. On its face, it's ludicrous. From a national security perspective, from a basic fairness perspective in terms of competition, truly imagine at the height of the Cold War, the largest newspaper in circulation is owned by the Soviet Union and controlled by the KGB. You would never accept that in a million years. Yet, we have continued to let our society increasingly be reliant on said app with no serious effort yet by both Trump and Biden to do what obviously needs to be done. Just ban the damn app and be done with it. This is why I'm very heartened, actually, to see a serious bipartisan effort actually materialize to treat the issue with the seriousness it deserves. Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy, he's a Democrat from the Illinois 8th District, Congressman Mike Gallagher, a Republican from Wisconsin, and Senator Marco Rubio have introduced the first bipartisan effort of its kind to actually ban TikTok. The legislation as written would block all transactions from any social media company under the influence of China or Russia. Now, it's worth noting the Democratic congressman language here. Quote, at a time when the CCP and our adversaries abroad are seeking any advantage they can find against the U.S. through espionage and mass surveillance, it is imperative we do not allow hostile powers to potentially control social media networks that could be easily weaponized against us. He adds, recent revelations surrounding the depth of TikTok's ties to CCP highlight the urgency of protecting Americans from these risks before it's too late. This rhetoric from the Democratic congressman is so necessary because the Biden administration right now is poised to fold completely to TikTok. A draft agreement seen 2 months ago would allow TikTok to continue operating in the U.S. with fake protections where some data is stored in the United States and some sort of fake auditor would be allowed to review their security practices. But it would still remain wholly owned and operated by Chinese parent company ByteDance. This is nothing but surrender on the issue, as we have now found repeatedly. ByteDance, through its control of TikTok in the United States, sees it as an arm of the CCP. The app has already been shown to have been used to specifically surveil and monitor the physical location of American citizens' data in a massive data gathering operation that had nothing to do with advertising. In other words, they were not collecting location data for any legitimate business purpose. They could only have been doing for foreign spyware purposes. The deal with the Biden administration appears to be going towards is a farce. TikTok has all sorts of fake practices in place right now where they claim ByteDance doesn't control them. But as we have seen from leaked recordings from inside the company, ByteDance and China controls everything about the app, according to the employees inside the company itself. All of this is happening while TikTok is literally eating the internet. Data from Cloudflare and Data.ai and Sensor Tower indicate TikTok's website was viewed more than Google last year. No app in history has grown further, past 1 billion users. And at least 1/3 of the entire US population uses it, 2/3 of all US young adults, and a sizable portion of those young adults say they, quote, use it almost constantly. On that, I think it's important to say this. I deplore kids and adults being glued to their phones, but at the end of the day, that's your right, as a parent and as a consumer. Banning TikTok does not mean in any way that technology or some other form can't or should arise in its place. In India, after they banned TikTok, clones were rampantly downloaded within days, and they're doing fine. The point here is about sovereignty. You may hate big tech and be suspicious of them. I've said here a million times now, there's still a big difference from a US-based social media app spying on you for profit versus an authoritarian government for one thing. For one, we have democratic ability via our government to actually make ours stop if we want to. For another, when our government wants something from them, at least you gotta get a warrant and they can still tell you to go to hell. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better. In China, in the middle of right now of COVID-0 protests, guess what? There's mass censoring on that app. Also consider a time here when US public opinion is counter to China's interests. Ask yourself seriously if they wouldn't use that app to try and influence it. If you don't think that they would, I can't really help you, but I know that most of you know it to be true. It's time to ban it and to applaud legislators actually trying to do so. Because if we don't today, it could be too late and Biden will let them off the hook. This is unacceptable. We really can't let it go. I thought it was really interesting to see Krystal.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.